for the flood incident, how we got involved was we were contacted by one Mr. Abdul Raza, who is part of an NGO called Otai Reformists. We were told by him that there were many residents on the ground affected by the floods in Sri Muda that was still waiting for compensation, and really they were not happy with the amount of compensation that was given to them to begin with, and they were considering the possibility of instituting an action, but they wanted to know if it was a viable option. So we've been looking into the case ever since. So our cause of action here is in negligence. We are claiming that essentially the state government and the agencies under it, the federal government and the agencies, the relevant agencies under it, were negligent. They owed a duty of care not only to the residents of Sri Muda really, but this would apply to other places affected by the flood as well, to ensure that the system in place to drain the water was first sufficient, that it could deal with the floods, especially since they even had, from what we've been told, they even had prior warning. They knew that it was going to be a particularly bad, round of rain. The government also owes what we would call a fiduciary duty. What does this mean? Now, a fiduciary duty is a duty that someone owes to a larger set of people. In this case, it would be the government owes a fiduciary duty to the people itself. The government is elected by their voters on the ground. As such, any public body, any public authority that is tasked with carrying out works, they are doing it for the people. They owe a duty for the people. They've breached their fiduciary duty in sense, which would also be another form of tortious action. This would essentially be the basis that the residents would use to bring the claim.
And looking at these claims and all that, if at all can you tell us a bit about the residents part? Have you engaged with the residents? Haven't engaged with the residents? What's happening there now? And also, are you planning to represent them, or are you going to represent them?
Right. We have met with the residents on one occasion with the help of some residents on the ground. We have informed them that there would be a viable action, so to speak. They can bring an action against the state government as well as the federal government and the relevant agencies under it. We have not instituted any claim yet, but our hope is that we would want to do so in time, provided that we have the right support and we have the right people with us. We are waiting for our partners on the ground, NGOs on the ground, to first put into place a system that would allow us to bring the suit. Such a suit would really be a massive undertaking to represent the residents of Sri Muda, and we would require a lot of assistance from anyone who could really give it to us, any NGOs and all that.
And if at all you are to plan, how many people are you planning to represent? Do you know?
The original, now we don't have a fixed number, but the original number that we had in mind was we were hoping for about 100 residents, which I would think is, all things considered, is not really that large considering how many people were affected by the floods.